neighbor or wait. So when some except. So this is the spelling rule number one. So basically the I before E except after C rules. So you can see the first one is believe where is IE, and second one is receive where is EI. So when we have to write IE, when we have to write EI, that we have to be very clear, otherwise there might be a spelling mistake, because it happens many times that when you're writing believe, somebody may write EI, BELEIV, believe, but in fact this is BELIEV, believe. So as basic the rule the is great, but what about ancient? You see, I said that when there is a receive, because after C you should write EI, and in other cases you should write IE. But you see after C it is IE, it is not EI. So there are some different rules for ancient and lay. So when there is a pronunciation is A or A, in that case it will be IE. Then when the A, then EI. So you see neighbor, NEI. So it is not before C. It's supposed to be, as per the rule, as per the first rule, it's supposed to be I, because I said that after C, the I before E. Okay, I before E in all cases. So in this case it should be I before E, but it is I after E. So this is when the pronunciation is A. In that case it would be only this rule applies only for the pronunciation when the pronunciation is E. In that case only this rule number one is applied. In this case when the pronunciation is A, nay, and sh, ancient, so C, then in this case it is, you see, I before E except after a long C, but not when C is sh sound, and not when sounded like A as a neighbor or wait. So I before E rule, believe, achieve, except after C, that is receive, selling, but not when C is sounded like sh, ancient, proficient. Not when sound like A, eight, bait. But there are some exceptions, always exceptions, so watch out for them. So rule number two, changing Y to IES. So spelling rule number two, changing Y to IS. You might not know the spelling rule, but you might know the spelling pattern. Most of the people do. So when the word ends in a vowel plus Y, just add S, like key, keys, delay, delays, trolley, trolleys. Because we can't have three vowels in a row. Like is it delays is wrong because three vowels in a row. So it's delays. So delays it will be AYS. So we have to. This is a very important thing that in one word we cannot write. We cannot have three vowels together. Okay, if the word has a consonant before the Y, take off the Y and add IS, like baby, babies, company, companies, difficult, difficulties. So this is rule number two. Next, go for rule number three. Spelling rule number three. Here, adding es to words ending in s, double s, z, ch, sh, x. This was added centuries ago to stop the plural s clashing with these letters, and it softens the s sound to a z sound, like bus, bus, buses, business, businesses, watch, watches, box, boxes, quiz, quizzes. So we can see that when there is a when we are adding es, just we have to add es in the word end with s double s z c h s s in this case. So I think we are clear with rule number 3. Next, go to rule number 4. So doubling up rule, when a word has one syllable plus one vowel next to consonant, we double up the final consonant with a vowel suffix. Okay, so like sit, sitter, big, biggest, tap, tapping, shop, shopper, then fat, fatten, fattering, fatter. So these are the words where we are doubling the consonant. But it happens there are some two syllable. In case of two syllable also it happens, like begin, where the has a stress in the second syllable. So begin, so it's a beginner, so it's double n. A refer, referring, so it's a double r. Occur, occurring, occurred, occurrence, so they are also double r. So we have to remember this thing. So this is spelling rule number 4. Next, go to rule number 5. Spelling rule number 5, drop the E rule. We usually drop the final silent E when we add vowel suffix endings. For example, write, writing, hope, hoped, excite, excitable, joke, joker, large, largish, close, closing, sense, sensible, opposite, opposition, imagine, imagination. But we keep the E if the word ends with CE or GE to keep a soft sound with able or OUS, like courage, courageous, outrage, outrageous, notice, noticeable, manage, manageable. So this is rule number 5. Next, move to rule number 6. So this is rule number 6. Let's begin. Spelling rule number 6. Changing the Y to I when adding suffix endings. If a word ends in a consonant plus Y, the Y changes to I, unless adding endings with I, that is ing or ish, which already begins with an I, like beauty, beautiful, then beautify, beautician, then happy, happiness. You can see happy, it is Y is changing with I. Angry plus er, anger, angrier. So Y is changing with I. Pretty, prettier. Ready, readily. Then you can see dry, dried. But when is ish, Y remains. Defies is Y is changed to I, but when is defying ing, so Y remains. Apply, applies is, but when you see there is ing, so Y is remains. So when the suffix starts with ing, so the Y remains, but in other cases Y changes to I. So I think we are clear about rule number 6. Next, go to rule number 7. So spelling rule number 7, F to VS or S. Most words ending in F or FE change their plurals to VES, like cup, cups, half, halves, knife, knives, leaf, leaves, loaf, loaves, live, lives, wife, wives, self, selves, their, theirs, yourself, yourselves. But some words ending in F or S Noun which ends in two vowels plus f usually form plurals in the normal way with just an s, like chip, chips, spoof, spoofs, then chef, chefs, ops, exception, thief, thieves, live, lives. Some words can have both ending vs or s, like scarf, scarps, scarps, drop, drops or drops, warp, warps or warps, handkerchief, handkerchiefs or handkerchiefs. Word ending in double f, you just add s to make the plural, like clip, clips, top, tops, scarp, scarps, snip, snips. So next, go to rule number 8. So spelling rule number 8. Here, word ending with full. The suffix full is always spelled with one L. For example, great, grateful, faith, faithful, hope, hopeful, care, careful, help, helpful, useful, great, grateful, beauty, beautiful. Here in the beautiful, there is a little bit different. Here we can notice that Y become I. So that we have to remember. So this is rule number 8. Let's go to rule number 9. Spelling rule number 9. Adding ly. When we add ly to word ending in full, then we have double the letter. Like it is gratefully. So when we are adding full, you see ly, it is coming adding ly. We are grateful, so adding ly. So the letter which ends with full, like grateful ends with full, faithful ends with full, hopeful. So these are the letters, individual letters. They are adding ending with full. So when a letter ending with full, then if we add ly, then that will be double ly, fully, faithfully, hopefully. So that is this is for ly. So now when we add ly to the word ending with e, when letter ending with e, but we are adding ly, then what gonna happen? In that case, we'll be adding only ly, because sometimes we are, you know, confused with, letter, when we'll be adding double ly, when we'll be adding l only ly. So there is a confusion between these two to many of us. So for that, this is very important. So like love, so this letter is ending with e, so it is, when it is ending with e, so it is only ly. Lovely, lightly, lively, completely, definitely. So it is, I think it is clear to all. So but there are not true, it is not truly, it is, see, true, true is ending with e, but it is little bit different. Plus ly, this is a common misspell word. When we change the end e to y in this ly words, so what happens when there is a truly with e, we have to the drop the e, like gently, ideally, softly, and then truly. So in this case, we have to drop the e and we have to use, you know, LOI. So I think we are clear. So next, go to rule number 10. When we add all to the beginning of words, we drop the I. We drop the L. It's all plus so is also. So we are dropping one L. So when there is a double L, then when we are adding all in front of as a prefix, then we have to drop one L, like almost, all, altogether, always, almighty, already, all right. But when you write is all right as two words, then it is normal English. Altogether. Note that altogether and altogether do not mean the same thing. So that we have to know. Altogether means in total, as there are bedrooms altogether. Whereas altogether means all in one place or all at once, as in it was good to have a group of friends all together. They came in all together. So basically, these are the 10 rules that if we can remember these 10 rules, I think it is, it is quite possible to correct almost 80% of our spelling, but still we need to, there are many words that is, different and that cannot cover by the like this rules, like sometimes we are confused that when we're writing this kind of word independence, where we need to put e and we need to put a, because there is some confusion between independence. So sometimes with this kind of spelling we have to remember, like we don't know where is to put a or e, like clearance. So clearance, sometimes clearence, somebody may do, many of us doing this mistake, so it is, but it is a clearance. And competence, tense, a t a n c, tense, but it is not a, it is n t e n c, tense. Its pronunciation like a, but if right e. Ambulance, l e, ambulance, but it is ambulance, l a n c, ambulance. Audience, e. Importance. So this kind of spelling we have to like remember. And there are some also exception words like accommodation, you get double c and double m, so you have that we have to remember. Then committee, double m I double t double a, so that we have to remember. Embarrassed, you have to remember. Millennium, possession, correspondence, harassment, conscious word we need to remember.